And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 120, baby. That's a lot of tunas. That's a lot of cups. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of this week's tournament. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the orange Zerg player, the orange Zerg player himself. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck, baby. Best of luck. Just setting up the title. But here we go, we are going to be settling on in, and we already saw a little bit of GgMaChine. For the most part, he was a more reactive player. I say for the most part, he of course was going for a lot of hatch blocks, but outside of that, he was settling down, scouting, and trying to react to what Rebellion was up to, which was often a lot of aggression, right? We saw a lot of aggression, a lot of shenanigans out of Rebellion. GgMaChine was trying to react and survive and get past all of that. In the end, was able to achieve that. Here against Zoun, Zoun is a much more diverse player. Zoun, he can play standard, he can embrace the mid game, he can get into the late game, or he can cheese the hell out of you. Zoun, he can be a very, very diverse player here. I'm still thinking about his series against Raynor at RSL, where we saw so many Glaive Adept builds. I want to say like 4 or 5 different variations of Glaive Adepts in his series against Raynor, and Raynor had a very, very hard time keeping up. Here. We'll see if Zoun does show that off again or shows off something different. I mentioned previously that Zoun has been very MIA as of late. He hasn't really been playing in many tournaments. Of course, we spoke about that coming into Home Story Cup, but that's why it's great to see him competing here tonight in an open tournament. I'm happy to see him now, again, looking to embrace competing, looking to embrace open cups, and looking to be more active in the scene. And we'll see how he looks. We'll see if he's been cooking something up. Let's go. I'm ready. But now, Stargate opener out of Zoun. Likewise, GgMaChine back at home, opening up hatch gas pool, getting into link speed, claiming a third base, and pulling out of gas. Everything looking normal so far. Ooh, nice pylon block. Pylon block is upon us. The Adept is on the way, and can Zoun get here before the cancel? Oh, he spots the drone. Oh no, he's gonna spot the drone. Gets one shot off, he gets 2, the drone goes down, and the third base is heavily delayed. Ay, there's a cancellation. Adept is in position, and GgMaChine cannot expand. Again, that's the purpose of the pylon block, is to just buy enough time for the Adept. Zoun is checking. Yep, checks the triangular third, nothing here. Shades towards the linear third base, drone moves in, Adept is in position, and again, GgMaChine, he just can't expand. No. Oh my god. He tries to slip by. Now we have 2 Adepts. 2 Adepts, they can one-shot drones. They can, they will. Yeah, shading into the main base, picking up Zerglings. Forced to recall. Do we kill an Adept? We do. And GgMaChine, he can finally expand. Here we go. Finally can expand. The Oracle does poke in. Alas, because of all the distractions, this Spore is not quite done. 4 drone kills already. Oh, does sustain a lot of hull damage. Behind this was a standard follow-up Stargate into a third base. Oracles are amassing. We do see Lings attempt to counterattack here, but the Depths are in position, and the Lings, they won't find much damage here. Oh, they might get us around. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, and that is an early Twilight Council now. Do you recall what we mentioned at the start of this series, at the start of this game? We spoke and we made reference to Zoun versus Raynor. How Zoun did go into a plethora of Glaive Adept builds against Raynor, and Raynor had a very hard time keeping up. I mean, I see an early Council. I see a lack of Forge. I see Glaive Adepts. We'll see if that's going to come to fruition. Oh, okay, never mind. Late Forge. Late Forge, this should no longer be Glaives. With this, we go into earlier blink. Yeah, there we go. Blink is on the way. Now, based on this timing here, what does this mean? This is typically a very safe way to play this out. This means that blink is going to be done earlier than normal. It means that if GgMaChine goes for a 3-base all-in, then Zoun blink will be ready defensively. Will be ready in time. It also means that Zoun can be more active earlier on. He can start to gain map control and apply pressure. The downside, of course, is +1 is going to be much later. There we go. There we go. I'd have to say move in, picking up some tumors, applying pressure. Behind this, Evo Chamber and a +1 melee. Looks like a standard build here by GgMaChine going into Ling Hydra. Skipping out on roaches this time. So a very different kind of ZVP. Very different kind of ZVP this time compared to the Rebellion series. I'd have to make their way into the natural. They zone away the Lings. And they get one drone so far, just the one. Okay. Nice defense here by our Zerg. Very nice defense. Again, GgMaChine is skipping his roaches, taking his gases, and this should lead into Ling Hydra, but I guess technically it could lead into Ling Muta. Technically. Typically, mutas are done post-Roach Warren to get into Roach play. Oh, there it is, though. Okay, it is going to be mutas. Then GgMaChine. Bold move, Patty. Bold move. We'll see if this goes unscouted. There are still oracles on the map. They're still threatening a dive. So far, they have not seen anything. Oh, actually, he's getting both. Okay. I get, why not, I guess. Spire and the Hydra Den. This tells us that there's a high chance that GgMaChine, he only makes like, what, 5-6 mutas? Like a handful of mutas just to harass. While building up his Hydras instead. Be zoned away. Orange Zergs always bring me vibes of the SC1 campaign. Yeah, they were at least in the campaign. I feel like they were a lot more willing to embrace different like color schemes. Not just with Zerg, but with Terran. Like green Terran was often seen, right, in the campaign. So we do have our mutas. I assumed it was going to be 6, it's going to be 9, so 9 mutas are on the way alongside Hydra upgrades. Bear that in mind. 9 mutas, that's more than enough to one-shot. More than enough. That's down, he's pushing. He's moving out. He's got storms. He's got storm, he's got blink. Charge is now done, just in time for the push. Just in time for this very strong storm timing. Again, all on 3 bases. The mutas, they won't really help too much here. They can potentially dive onto the High Templar. Instead, they go for the counterattack. Probe's going to be going down, but what about the ground army? What is there to defend? Lings and Hydras, this melts the storm, and there are so many storms. Yeah, there are storms or Archons. GgMaChine cannot defend against this. Like, no with Ling Hydra, no shot. Mutas, they do wreak havoc across the map. Probes are going down. High Templar exposed. There's first storm. Yeah, first storm of the Queens. 1 High Templar goes down. 3 Templar left. Forcing out more storms. Very nice engage here by GgMaChine. Oh my god. He's trying to bait out those storms. There's 1 storm left. Lings just trying to collapse in. Plenty of Hydras as well. Where's the storm? There it is. Finally. Yeah, a decent storm. But I believe that was the final storm. Oh, no, there's one more. Okay, never mind. See, there's one more. Oh, God. As storm pops up. Army breaks through. We need more Zealot reinforcements. There we go. We're warping in 4 at a time. Oh, God. Another storm lands. And Zoun has done it. Zoun has done it. Or has he? The boys are being pulled. The boys. There's an Archon on the way. Oh, my God. That's focusing on those stasis traps. But that's going to be 26 drones going down. Ay, ay, ay. Hydras, they should be able to hold their own here, just barely. But it's a very messy defense. Yeah, it's not good enough. It's too messy, Pap. It's too messy. He's not Ronaldo. Ah. As there we go, Zealots warp in, the boys are being pulled once again, this time into Archons, and Zoun, he is broken the defenses here of GgMaChine, just barely. It was a close defense, but GG gets called, and Zoun will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Zoun, interesting builds, going for the earlier blink into a very strong 3-base charge and storm timing. He had 4 High Templar, full of energy, so many storms available as well. It was really unfortunate that GgMaChine happened to be skipping roaches, right? GgMaChine, he went Ling Hydra, and Ling Hydra just melts, it just evaporates against Storm and against Archons and against Chargeless as well. Either whether it's roaches or whether it's banelings, one or the other would have definitely helped out there in that defense. But one of the reasons why there wasn't either of those tech structures was because, hey, if you remember, we had the Spire, right? We had resources invested into the Spire, and that did not help in the defense. Did not help in the end. GG, well played. With that, Zoun takes the lead in the series, and we're going to be loading into game número 2. Let's go. Be loading into game 2. And game 2 is going to be on the Old Republic. Okay. The Old Republic is another one of these more larger maps, has an open 4th base location, and that definitely can be applicable here in this matchup. I'll be honest, I do not expect to see mutas again. Typically, mutas is something you do once in a series. It's not something you want to be relying too much on. And hey, I mean, he kind of got away with it. It went unscouted. The mutas, they got to kill some probes across the map, but it did not matter against the main committed push from Zoun. It was still a very clutch hold. It was still very close, and barely didn't quite work out there for GgMaChine. But I feel like the chances of it being mutas again is quite low. But let's go. Let's go. As our players, I need a moment. They do need a moment. Meanwhile, the rest of the bracket is progressing. We'll be catching up after this series. We'll catch up with what has been going on. We'll get there. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. It is GgMaChine. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in, so we're going to be calming down. And again, we did have an interesting build out of Zoun, bearing in mind that GgMaChine did play standard last game. That's one of the reasons why it worked. It's quite standard to go +1 melee into Lings, into Hydras, to skip the Baneless, to skip the Roach Warren as well, to build up in towards a longer and later game. And then bam! Zoun showed up with Storm. So very crisp timing there from Zoun. Oh, hello! As GgMaChine, he wants to go for the hash block once again. Remember, this is not an all-in, this is not a cheese, this is a disruption of the build. This is designed to try to throw a wrench in the works when it comes to the build of the Protoss. Drone moves in, and the hatchery has been thrown down. Remember, this is hatch first. Hatchery, into a hatchery, into gas pool. Now, it's forcing a 2-gate response out of Zoun. Now, this is where you have to read what you sow. On the one hand, yes, GgMaChine, because of this build, he is delaying the expansion. He's delaying the nexus of the Protoss. That is true, but he's forcing out a Zealot. And this is a cleaner response. If you remember, what was Rebellion doing? Rebellion, he pulled the boys. He pulled 6 probes to deal with this. Instead, here, we have a more calm, cool, collected response. Chronoing out that first Zealot, getting a second gateway, getting a second Zealot as well, then going for double Adepts, and then after this is dealt with, going for the double Zealot, double Adept move outs. And that will force out Lings, that will force out Queens, that will force a defense out of the Zerg player, and force him to cut workers, essentially. Only one Zealot, okay. Only one Zealot. Hatchery's being targeted down. There's a chrono on both adepts. And they're making their way across the map. Remember, 2 adepts, they one-shot drones. Overlord does spot the move out. And it's up to GgMaChine to defend back at home. And hopefully he can minimize losses here. Otherwise, things can very quickly get out of hand. Very quickly. Oh. So we are getting 3, 4 deaths. That's game-ending damage. 5 drones go down. No lings. GG. GG, well played. Not the end of the series that I was hoping for, but GG. Congratulations here to Zoun as he does claim the series. Unfortunately, GgMaChine, he was woefully underprepared for the adepts. And this is the biggest concern, of course, when you do go for the hatch spell, because you force a response to your opponent. You force out the gateway, you force out these adepts. Unfortunately, GgMaChine, he needed a little bit more time for the lings. He needed a little bit more time for those Zerglings. His queen wasn't yet out either, and that's game. That's as game then and there. GG, well played. Zoun, he will advance on into the semifinals, and let's catch up on the bracket. Ay. My heart goes out to GgMaChine. My heart goes out to him. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Zoun. He does advance on to the semifinals. Zoun is waiting for the winner of Percival and Shameless. Again, we do have a TVP currently ongoing in the quarterfinals. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have Creator and Nicorette, also another TVP, and we have Cristiano mid-series against Saipem up against Geralt in the next round into the semifinals as well.